To Crime City.
Welcome, junior detectives, to the continuing story of Crime City, a monthly stage show in the style of old-time radio, recorded live at the Theatre on King in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. This month's episode, Beyond a Reasonable Scout, starring Mike Judson as Victor Marshall, Kenn Gibb as Brad Bramble, Dan Smith as the narrator, Lord Scottoball Duggan and a series of hobos, Kate Ethier as Private Property, Mélanie Dubois as Peggy Sparks, Sarah McNeilly as Ruby Pearl, Aaron Cavon as Tyler Nall, and Matt Gilbert as the sinister crime minister. With live sound effects by Melissa Post and original music by Adam Martinetti. Crime City is written and produced by Andrew Root. We apologize for a few instances of distortion during the recording. Do not adjust your radio.
Greetings, junior detectives. Shine your badge, put on your trench coat, and grab your magnifying glass. It's time to set your radio's dial to intrigue for another exciting episode of Crime City, brought to you in its entirety by the new plant matter-based exercise and diet substitute energy product, Juiceophonics. When you need to look like Rick Hudson or Mary Jane Monroe, but quick, you need Juiceophonics. On with the show! Crime City, home to the fiends, scoundrels, and ne'er-do-wells of the world. A cesspool of illegality. Honest citizens fear to walk the streets after dark. But one man stands against crime in Crime City, honor-bound to serve justice and protect the innocent. Our hero, Victor Marshall, private detective.
Victor Marshall, at your service.
Exiled from a corrupt police force, Victor Marshall, with the help of his boy sidekick,
Brad Bramble, adventure scout, first class.
You're not my sidekick.
Saving the world.
Don't.
With scouting.
God damn it.
And his trusted colleague, Lilian Steele. His trusted colleague, Lilian Steele. Hold the phone, where's Lilian?
I don't think she's in this episode.
Seriously? Oh boy, our ratings are gonna plummet.
Oh, come on. The kid and I can carry an episode by ourselves, can't we?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Miss Steele got episode 4 all to herself.
All right, fine. But we better lock the door so we don't lose the audience during the commercials. Hear that, junior detectives? There will be no refunds.
Get on with it.
What nefarious foes will our heroes face in their quest to uphold the law? Find out in tonight's breathtaking installment, Beyond a Reasonable Scout. In our last episode, we finally met the nefarious crime minister, who was knee-deep in something called Project Persephone, a cunning plot as mysterious as it is sinister. That is to say, a lot. On both counts. Project Persephone is the crime minister's ultimate plot to eliminate Lilian and cement his hold on Crime City. Zounds and gadzooks, you'd be right to say, even though the myth of Persephone is one of rebirth and not death. Just what is that crooky crime lord up to? It's all hands on deck for the criminals of Crime City, but not so for our trio of crime solvers. Brad Bramble has suffered a crisis. Following the mismanagement of his beloved adventure scouts, all of Brad's badges were declared null and void, and our young hero was demoted to the rank of Weasel Scout. So distraught was Brad Bramble that he vanished into the city streets, taking his burgeoning sense of self with him. Will Victor and Lilian find him in time to regroup and get a solid footing against whatever Project Persephone has in store? We join Brad in the woods just outside of town as our despondent scout goes on a walkabout.
Which way am I going? Is it west? My junior orienteering training tells me that the moss only grows on the north side of the tree, but gosh, I don't even know if that's true anymore. I can't believe I spent all that time earning all those merit badges only to find out my troop is a dang badge factory. I must be really deep in the forest. Look at how tall those trees are. What are they, sequoias? No, those only grow on the coast. Or do they? Oh, who knows? This botany badge is useless. And what if I come across some animal tracks? I won't be able to tell if they're from a predator or not. Oh, that's just what I deserve, to be eaten by a mountain cat. If I can't be a useful adventure scout, I may as well provide sustenance for an endangered animal. I'll just sit here on this fallen log and make the distinctive mountain cat call so they know where to find me. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. I got a nice adventure scout here waiting for you. Short pants and everything. No? Fine. Maybe your old pal the forest wolf wants a nice meal. Wait a minute. Is it possible the forest wolf and the common barn horse don't make the same sound after all? Oh, curse you, useless animal audiology badge! So I'll just sit here and wait for my body to decompose and become one with the forest floor. Well, I should probably leave a note for whoever finds me here. Some words of bitter wisdom from my cautionary tale. I can carve it into the side of this tree. Well, let's see. What to write? Here lies the betrayed former adventure scout, Brad Bramble. You can't spell trusting without true sting. I'll just get out the old pocket knife here and get to carving.
You leave that tree there alone.
What? Who said that?
That's me, you dolt. You're sitting on me.
What? A talking tree?
No, I'm a person, halfwit. Get off me. Asking a person if he's a talking tree. Look at you. Confusion now hath made his masterpiece, I say.
Well, I'm sorry. You just really looked like a fallen log.
Camouflage, my boy. How better to hide from the dangerous mutant cat than to ensconce my person within these leaves and bark. Now hold on just a moment. Where's the rest of your troop?
What?
Well, you're an adventure scout, aren't you, lad? The claws doth oft proclaim the man, I say. Your scouts are supposed to travel in packs. What are you doing out here in the woods by yourself?
I'm giving up.
Pshaw. Do anything, save to lie down and die, I say. Giving up is not the adventure scout way, from what I seem to recall.
Well, I'm not sure what the adventure scout way is anymore, sir.
Goodness, whatever do you mean?
Well, things have changed. I thought I'd earned all these great badges and learned these skills, but my troop just declared that them all null and void due to mismanagement. Now I don't know what's real and what's made up. It's like I can see how everything in my life used to be, but I just can't touch it anymore.
Ah, yes. The loneliest moment in someone's life is when they are watching their whole world fall apart. And all they can do is stare blankly, I say.
Boy, you said it. I mean, a week ago, I would have thought twice about having such an open dialogue with an old man in a tree disguise. But here I am, spilling my guts. I guess you just have a trustworthy face.
Trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string, I say. So tell me about it, my boy. Your life. What's happened that is so terrible? You had to leave everything behind and come out to the forest to deface trees with such terrible poetry.
Well, it's like this, you see. I've earned dozens of merit badges, each more illustrious than the last. This is my bugle maintenance badge, my bovine dentistry badge, and these are my 3 golden canoe commendations for special merit. As soon as I entered the Adventure Scouts, I was earning badges hand over fist and feeling really great about it. I never even considered that some of them are kind of, well, silly.
Ah, yes. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. Then success is sure, I say.
Oh, you sure are right about that. I got through all my badges except one, the do-gooder badge. And that one seemed almost impossibly difficult to get approved for.
Now hold on just a minute. The do-gooder badge wasn't one of the first badges you earned. Why ever not?
Gee, I don't know. They said do-gooding wasn't important. They said that it could wait.
Not important. Could wait.
Well, that's what the troop leader said. But I couldn't let my merit badge sash go incomplete, so I signed up with a do-gooder in the community. Victor Marshall, private detective, at your service. and then his colleague, Lilian Steele. Hello. And we decided to clean up crime in Crime City.
Your project was to eliminate crime. The entirety of crime. In a tune called Crime City.
Well, yeah.
What was your timeline on that?
6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, it seemed reasonable.
Well, we must all hang together. Or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately, I say. Continue.
Well, at first, Mr. Marshall was all, I don't need no apprentice. But then I used my mapping skills to help him solve a case, and he was all, well, I guess together we can do anything. And then Lilian said, Brad, darling, you're the bee's knees. And I said, we sure do make one heck of a team. And then Victor said, we couldn't do it without you, kid. And then Lilian said, you're the glue that holds us together, Brad, dear. And then they both said, at the same time, we're your best friends, Brad.
Goodness. Sounds like you've got quite a troop there. But then what are you doing out right here in the woods, all alone?
Well, you see, my team and I have been working on cracking the case of a former Nazi commander who's come to America and is puppeteering a criminal takeover of the city. I'm sure if we can put a stop to his machinations, I'll earn my badge for sure. But then I found out that my troop had been mismanaged, and I guess I had a little freak out.
Now hold it right there a second. There's no need to go through all that Durham and Strang for a simple do-gooder badge. Why didn't you just help an old lady cross the street?
What?
Well, that would have been more than sufficient.
With all due respect, sir, but how would you know?
Perhaps this will clear things up. I solemnly swear that as an adventure scout, I will do my best in all that I undertake. I will help my fellow scouts and my fellow citizens. I promise to learn ceaselessly and use my learning as often as possible. I promise to stick to my beliefs unless those beliefs hurt others. And then I should be like, what? Let's get to the bottom of this. And then figure out why my beliefs hurt that other person. And see if an amicable solution can be worked out. And if that amicable solution can't be worked out, then I promise to examine my beliefs and see if there's any wiggle room that will allow everyone to live peaceably. I also promise to recycle.
Saving the world.
With scooting.
But that's the Adventure Scout pledge, word for word. How do you know that?
Because I wrote it, young man.
No, you didn't. You're just an old man in the woods. Lord Scottabald Duggan, the founder of the Adventure Scouts, wrote that.
Yes. And I'm sorry about that middle section. My friend Scott and I wrote it in a real hurry one afternoon. You see, we were originally called the Adventure Scots. And it was just the two of us.
You're Lord Duggan?
In the very flesh, I say.
Well, they said you were coming to town. Well, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you. You look A lot older than your official portrait.
An unnecessary apology provokes the need for a true one, I say. Have no fear. I see that I'm well needed in Crime City. If a scout can become so misguided as to think that do-gooding is an upper-tier badge. Think of the words of the pledge. It's what I was hoping would shape young minds. In the end, the merit badges were about self-reliance, initiative, courage, willingness to do good. And young Bradley Bramble, in my opinion, I think you've more than earned your do-gooder badge. Here, I want you to have mine.
Oh, no, I can't take your do-gooder badge.
Oh, please, I want you to have it. Besides, I think I need to re-earn this particular badge. I thought I could plant the adventure scouts like a garden and just let it grow. But gardens need a lot of maintenance. I've clearly let the whole plot go to seed. And I can see that you and your friends are the ones running around pulling up weeds. You deserve this.
Oh, my goodness, thank you. Wait a second. Does this mean that I'm the new Adventure Scout assistant manager?
What?
Assistant manager. There are a bunch of us competing for that position, including that snake Wednesday Williams. She's my nemesis.
I hate to break it to you, but no such position exists. There are scouts, troop leaders, regional managers, and me. That's it.
Are you kidding? What about managers? District managers, division managers, operations managers, and the board of directors?
This isn't a bureaucracy, Brad. It's about working together. And you really shouldn't have a nemesis. You're 10.
Well, then how do you decide who the troop leaders are?
Usually just whichever child is the oldest.
Of course. It's so simple. Oh, things have gotten so twisted around, I don't know how on earth we're going to straighten them out. Where do we even begin? What's that? A mountain cat?
No. I didn't hear its distinctive call.
Brad! Kid, are you out here? Kid, I'm stepping in all kinds of what I hope is mud. So if you're around, speak up.
It's Victor. He came looking for me. Mr. Marshall, I'm over here. Do you want to meet him?
No time, I'm afraid. I could see that things in Crime City are in need of immediate attention. And it always takes 3 pages or more to introduce characters to one another.
Brad!
I'll just slip off now. But remember these words, Scout Bramble. Go to your work and be strong, halting not in your ways. Buck in the end half won for an instant dole of praise. Stand to your work and be wise, certain of sword and pen, who are neither children nor gods, but men in a world of men. I'll meet you in Crime City.
But wait.
Tarry not, I say. I wish we may meet again. I'm counting on you, Scout Bramble.
There you are. What's the idea, running into the woods like that?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Marshall.
And poor Lilian, she was frantic. I ain't never seen her like that.
Well, I'm sorry. I just got overwhelmed.
You scared the life out of me, kid, and oh, hell. Come here. Don't tell anyone about that.
Believe me, I won't.
We were really worried about you, kid.
Well, where's Miss Steele?
Yeah, we split up to cover more ground. Lilian took the bus depots, railway tracks, and the airport, and I took the parks and the woods, and I figured you might go somewhere woodsy.
Oh, well, pretty good detective work, Mr. Marshall. Well, I'm sorry I ran away. Well, all at once I got the overwhelming feeling that I wasn't making a difference. I didn't know how to handle it.
Kid, are you joking? None of this would have gotten started without you. I'd still be sitting behind a desk waiting for 2-bit cases to come knocking. Look, I know your dad isn't around, and I know I'm no fit substitute, but at least we're friends, aren't we? And I know a thing or two about being sore at your old man, but I also know that you don't get no say in the matter of who you're saddled with as a dad. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you wanted to think of me as a father, you know, kind of a father, I'd like that.
What are you talking about?
You know, since your dad took off.
Oh, my dad didn't take off. No, he's around. I see him all the time. He's actually a great guy.
What? You said he left you.
Well, when did I say that?
When we first met. You said that he skipped out on you and your mom, and I was trying to make you leave, because I didn't want you as an apprentice, and you played me?
Yep.
You?
Yeah.
Played me.
So, what? You want to come over later and meet my mom? Maybe play a little catch?
You've got to be kidding me.
Or maybe you can show me how to ride a bike, Mr. Marshall.
All right, that's enough. Let's get back to town.
And so our heroes returned to Victor's office, but all was not as they expected to find.
Let's make some calls. Maybe we can catch Lilian at the airport and let her know you're safe.
Mr. Marshall, look.
What? Hey, the door. The lock's been blown off.
Look at those scorch marks. Whoever did this was a real pro. They destroyed the lock, but didn't even break the glass in the window.
Get behind me, kid. They may still be inside. Hello? Is anyone there?
Keep your hands to yourself, Flatfoot, or I'll blow you into pieces too small to be seen with the naked eye.
Who are you?
The name's Property. Private Wilhelmina Property. Artillery.
Private Property? A member of Lilian Steele's old squadron from the war? Here in Crime City? Just what the Winston Churchill was going on, junior detectives. Stay tuned and find out after these messages from our exclusive sponsor, Juiceophonics.
If you're feeling run down, tired, lethargic, exhausted, weary, drained, fatigued, sleepy, bedraggled, haggard, shabby, weather-beaten, flipsy, feet feeble, or bedrimmed, stop feeling that way with the help of Juiceophonics! The results are immediate and jarring. Before I could turn around, I was feeling industrious, vigorous, active, sprightly, powerful, lively, fresh, animated, snappy, stalwart, brisk, dynamic, vivacious, zippy, and with a sudden, alarming ability to list at least a dozen adjectives for any word you can name. Watch this! Exercise, gymnastics, cardiovascular, weights, free lifts, dance, stretch, running, swimming, cycling, yoga, aerobics, and jumping ropes. I did all of these this morning. I had so much energy, and I still do. And you can too, thanks to Juiceophonics products. Ever wanted the iconic hourglass figure just like Marilyn Monroe? You can have it in just 3 short weeks, regardless of your current physique. That's the Juiceophonics promise, guarantee, pledge, obligation, commitment, vow, covenant, affirmation, contract, oath, betrothal to you. Regardless of your current weight or bone structure, you will look like Marilyn Monroe within 3 weeks or your money back. Well, not back, but we'll discuss it. Juiceophonics products! It's easier to exercise when you're physically incapable of sleeping because you're too energetic. Call now, or 3 a.m. We'll be awake.
Gosh, another drudge of a day at work with Mr. Simmons breathing down my neck about the Simpson account. If only I was the boss boy, you bet things could be different.
Now you can be!
Yeah, who are you?
I'm you! From the future!
Wow, I made some big changes.
That's right! The most significant of which is that you became a Juiceophonics sales representative and started making money hand over fist!
A sales representative? Well, gosh, I didn't know the first thing about sales.
You don't have to! The results speak for themselves! Just start using Juiceophonics products, and when people ask you how you got that hourglass figure, tell them Juiceophonics!
Gosh, that sounds easy. But don't I need to build a client base?
No! You've got friends and family, don't you?
Well, sure.
Not anymore! Now you have potential clients.
But if you feel uncomfortable selling to those around you, all you need is to recruit your own sales team. Just sign up 2 associates and a portion of their sales will go to you. When they sign up their own associates, you'll get a portion of that money too. It all flows upwards.
Wait a minute. This whole Juiceophonics business sounds like a pyramid scheme.
Don't be silly. Pyramid schemes are illegal, and this isn't illegal, so therefore, it cannot be a pyramid scheme.
Makes sense to me.
Become a Juiceophonics sales representative today, because there's nothing more American than being your own boss.
Just like I did!
Welcome back, junior detectives. When we last left you, Victor and Brad returned to their offices to find the lock blown clean off the door by none other than private property, one of Lilian's colleagues from the war. But what is the demolitions expert doing in Crime City? And where is Lilian? Listen closely and find out.
Private property? Like the private property?
Only one I know of.
Wow, from the old days? What was it like being a spy?
What's your deal? You like, short person or something?
He's a kid.
That explains the enthusiasm. Well, stay away from me, kid, like on the other side of the room or something.
Well, yeah, just because I'm a kid. Well, some people find me quite charming.
So, you must be Marshall.
Yeah, and you must be the one who blew the lock off my door.
Pleased to meet you.
Couldn't you, I don't know, just wait for us to get back?
I got peckish. Thought I'd help myself to your refrigerator. As for the lock, dynamite was the simplest solution.
Dynamite? Couldn't you just pick the lock? Maybe kick it in?
Hey now, no one's kicking in my door.
Well, look, kid, there isn't a problem in the world that dynamite isn't the best solution for.
Really? Well, how about if you, forget to file your taxes?
Blow up your personal records. Government gives you an extension. Next.
What if you slept late, but you have to make your bed before you leave for the day?
Can't make your bed if there's no bedroom. Blow up the house. Move on. Next.
What if you, have too much dynamite?
Just blow some up, dum-dum. But for the record, too much dynamite is never a problem.
Sorry, Wilhelmina, but it looks like the only thing in the fridge is stale bread and expired mayonnaise. Oh, hi, fellas. You must be Victor and Brad. It's me, Peggy. Pleased to finally meet you in person.
Peggy? Peggy Sparks? The radio pro from Lilian's outfit? You helped us spy on police communications when we were tracking down Vonda Shines.
The one and only. Well, hey, Scout, you get that do-getter badge yet?
Oh, I did. Just today.
Oh, good for you. Let's see it.
Wait. Hold on a minute. How many more of you are hiding around in here?
Oh, it's just us.
We were the first to arrive.
The first?
Sure. Didn't Lilian tell you? We both got calls from her earlier today telling us to get to Crime City, but quick. Luckily, we were in the area.
What? What time did she call you?
Just after breakfast?
That's right. After we went out looking for you. Look, what is she up to? Where is she now?
Well, probably just touching down in Tangier.
Tangier? That's in Morocco.
What's she doing in Tangier?
Picking up Giselle. I met her at the airport and she filled me in. As it happens, the great intelligence officer, Giselle Gaulier, is one of those types that doesn't have a telephone.
Giselle and her girlfriend, well, a wife now, Marushka, moved to Tangier after the war. There's more than enough odd jobs in espionage to support them there.
But Miss Steele was supposed to be looking out for me. What's the point of running away if no one comes looking for you?
So she's getting the old squad back together, huh? But wait, isn't someone missing?
Ruby Pearl, our deep undercover agent.
It's, Ruby now, actually. She and Jack finally tied the knot.
Well, whatever her name is, I don't think she's going to be turning up. She and Lilian left things on bad enough terms without taking into account that Ruby never got to say goodbye to the Sarge when she bought it in that air raid.
Hello. Are these the offices of Victor Marshall, private detective?
Ruby! Hello! Hi! How are you? Gosh, it's so good to see you!
Hello, Peggy. How are you, old friend?
Not half bad and not half old either. But look at you, kid! All grown up with a husband and everything. Let's see that ring.
Oh, what is that, a blood diamond?
No, property. A blood diamond isn't actually red. This is a ruby, naturally.
It's gorgeous.
It is a rock.
So lovely to see you as well, Wilhelmina.
Sure is. I'm a damn delight.
And you two must be Lilian's new friends.
Yeah. Lily and I were in the academy together, and Brad here joined up with us a short time ago.
Well, just be careful. I was her friend once, too, and I happen to remember how Lilian Steele treats her friends.
Oh, Ruby.
Miss Ruby, Miss Steele told us all about her time in the war, and I can assure you she feels just awful about how things turned out between you two.
She said as much in the telegraph she sent this morning. Couldn't even bear to call me on the telephone, but it sounds like we've got unfinished business here, and I couldn't let the squad down. Where is PFC Steele anyway? I'd like to get the awkward reacquaintances out of the way as soon as possible.
Just picking up Giselle in Tangier. Probably won't be back until morning. We should come up with a plan while we're waiting. You, detective, sit rep.
Sit what?
What? You were never in a ready room? Sit rep, chop chop.
It means a situation report. She's asking what's going on.
Oh, well, to be honest, we're not really sure.
We've been on the outskirts of a plan involving a former Nazi commander called the Crime Minister. He's infiltrated the Crime City Police Department and is puppeteering criminal activity throughout the city. Vandalism, jewel heists, animal mind control. You know, crime.
And what sort of offensive strikes have you made?
Well, none, really.
None? What a pair of Larrys.
Hey! I mean, hey!
You got a Nazi in town and you blown up nothing? You're sleeping.
We don't know where he is. We're not even sure who he is.
Some detective.
Forgive her, you guys. You probably didn't know what you were getting into.
One never does when Lilian Steele is involved.
Hey, come on, that's not fair.
Everyone simmer down. We'll figure this out.
Oh, sure. Like a solution to this problem is just gonna knock on the door.
Hello, these the offices of Victor Marshall, private detective?
Who's asking?
Mr. Marshall, look out! It's one of Von der Schein's henchmen.
You're right. It's...
Don't say color.
Your code name was Color?
Von der Schein's claimed she needed to name all her henchmen after the qualifiers for a diamond cut, clarity, carat, and me. Color.
Oof, my goof. That's rough.
What's your real name?
It's Tyler. Thank you for asking. No one ever asks.
Doesn't change the fact that you work for Vonda, who works for the Crime Minister. What are you doing here?
I'm here because I want a turncoat and cut ties with that lousy crime boss. I told him I didn't want to be associated with Von der Schein's anymore. I told him I'd rather have my own gang. Well, he said if I wanted a gang, there had to be a theme to it. You know, like a school of fish or a deck of cards or something. Wouldn't you know it? He catches me listening to a jazz record one time and suggests a game of musically themed bad guys.
That's not so bad.
Yeah. He wanted to call us the Minstrel Show.
Whoa.
Sometimes I think that boy can't hear himself talk. I only started henchmaning for him to pay off my student loans and pursue my real passion. Pharmacology.
Pharmacology?
My partners and I are developing a convenient pill-sized painkiller for our fellow henchmen.
A painkiller?
Well, when you're a henchman, you get your cage rattled a lot. Dull and pain tends to be on your mind. But once this pain pill takes off, I'll be out of the crime world forever. I can see it now, a shiny new pharmacy, owned and operated by me. Tylenol. Filled with Tylenol's pain-killing products.
Well, what about your partners? Don't they get their names on the bottles?
Who? Advil and Motrin? No. They'll never make it in painkilling game. No. This is Tylenol's domain.
Well, that's it then.
What?
This guy wants out, we want in. I presume he still knows where this CM guy sets up shop, so he helps us get a spy on the inside. We get the info we need to take down the Nazi dirtbag, vanquish crime, maybe blow up his headquarters a few times. Everyone's happy.
A few times?
And we got the perfect spy right here.
Who, me?
Who else? You were our deep undercover agent.
Miss Steele said you could make anyone believe anything.
Well, I'm a little rusty is all. It's been years since the war, and I'm a singer now. I never thought I'd say this, but maybe we should wait for Lilian to join us.
I ain't got that kind of time.
Yes, you do, Wilhelmina. On our way over here, you couldn't stop talking about how bored you are since the war ended. You've even taken up reading romance novels. And you hate romance. And reading.
I told you that in confidence.
Well, look, Ruby. It seems like fate's dropped a whale of an opportunity in Tyler Knoll here. Seems wasteful to not take advantage.
Yeah, and this is just a recon mission, Ms. Ruby. We could gather information on this whole Project Persephone thing, and then wait to use it when Miss Steele gets back.
You really are our best hope, Ruby.
Yeah, what's with the stall?
Well, it's just...
What's the holdup, Ruby? Well, keen listeners will recall from our last episode that Ruby is the employee of the Crime Minister, tasked with infiltrating Victor, Lilian, and Brad's operation. How would it look when she turns up with the Crime Ministers, intent on spying on the ousted Nazi commander? Is she a double agent? A triple agent? Oh boy! All this figuring is giving me a headache.
I got just a thing for that.
Ooh la la! We may not have reached the next set of commercials yet, but let me tell you, listeners, Tyler Knoll's miraculous painkillers are one product you should definitely invest in. Speaking of commercials, now's as good a time as any. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
The following commercial advertisement has been edited by the Federal Food and Drug Administration.
Juiceophonics products made such a difference in my life.
Subjective anecdotal evidence is not approved by the FDA.
And they're delicious, too.
Tastes may vary.
Made from the best ingredients.
The FDA does not approve the term best, although Juiceophonics certainly does contain ingredients.
Juiceophonics stands for top quality.
The word juiceophonics is derived from the Latin juiceos and phonics, which means elevated yes standard.
Juiceophonics exists to change lives.
Juiceophonics is a business and exists to generate revenue.
Just like it changed mine.
See earlier note regarding subjective anecdotal evidence.
Made from real ingredients.
Technically, everything that exists is real.
And guaranteed to show dramatic results in only 3 weeks.
Results not typical.
You'll have the iconic hourglass figure of Marilyn Monroe in no time flat.
People misremember Marilyn Monroe's body type all the time.
Just think, you'll be more attractive than you ever thought possible.
Beauty standards shift rapidly over time, and the schema of what society portrays as attractive is a fluid, ever-changing dynamic, impossible for any one product to offer as a promise.
You'll have more energy? You'll have more energy! And Juiceophonics products will help you realize your dreams.
Juiceophonics products do not fit the proper legal terminology to be categorized as food.
Juiceophonics is not legally available in stores, so consult your nearest sales representative today.
Welcome back, Junior Detectives. When we left our heroes, it had been decided that Ruby, former deep undercover agent with Lilian's squad during the war, would infiltrate the Crime Minister's lair and gather information about Project Persephone. Now, fitted with a radio transmitter cooked up by Radio Pro Peggy Sparks, Ruby and the new associate, Tyler Knoll, a former criminal henchman, wade into the troubled waters of Crime City's criminal underworld as our heroes listen in. But don't forget, Ruby, still raw over how things ended between her and Lilian during the war, is in the employ of that maestro of misdeeds, the Crime Minister himself.
So, how will we know when we've reached the hideout?
It's over on the west side of town.
Spare any change for a fella down in his luck?
Certainly.
Testing. Am I coming through okay, Ruby?
Yes, I can hear you just fine, but do keep it down. I don't want the Crime Minister to hear you.
Just let us know when you're inside.
I know how to infiltrate and report Private Sparks. Couldn't you have found cover further away?
Jeez, bite my head off, why don't you? Are you any closer to the west side of town yet?
It's hard to tell.
Trust me, you'll know when we're there.
Sorry, Chase, we're a fellow going through some hard times.
Certainly.
Brad Bramble to Private Ruby. Brad Bramble to Private Ruby. Do you copy? Private Ruby, over.
Yes, I read you. What?
I just wanted to say that it's a real honor to be working with someone of your caliber, and I just...
Scout, do you want to earn a merit badge?
Have you met me? Oh, yeah, I guess we did just meet. Yes, that is something I'd like very much. What do I have to do?
It's called the Radio Silence Badge, and to earn it, you just keep your filthy mitts off the microphone.
Hey, Ruby, what's up your butt?
Yeah, he's just a little kid. He's being enthusiastic.
If you want my help on this, we do things my way, and that means the kid just stays quiet.
Yeah, how's about everyone drops the attitude? We're all on the same side, right?
Right.
Right. Tyler, are we in the west side of town yet?
I think so, but there's only one way to know for sure.
Howdy, folks! Can you spare a bit of gold for a fella whose prospects have all gone the way of the horse-drawn carriage? Yee-haw!
And we're here. When we go in, I'll introduce you to the big man. You just hang back till I call you over, okay?
This is far from my first sting.
Touchy.
Remember, as much information about Project Persephone as you can get, okay?
Everyone, please, just be quiet.
Hello? Who's out there?
Ruby, stand behind me.
That better not be those kids throwing pennies against the wall again. Always interrupting me when I'm trying to focus on my screenplay. Professor Helicopter Man won't write itself, you know.
Hey, boss man.
Jazz Cat? Is that you?
Jazz Cat?
Oh, boy.
I can't hear.
I told you not to come back until you'd found 4 members for your new gang. Does this mean that the minstrel show is up and running and ready to hit the streets?
Not exactly, but I did find someone I wanted you to meet.
Here we go, gang. Now you'll see how a smooth professional like Ruby cons her way right into his inner circle.
Prime Minister, meet Ruby.
Ruby, what are you...
Yes, hello, we are meeting for the first time.
I remember her being more charming than that.
Yes, this is our first meeting, and what a good first impression you make.
Is she okay?
Well, undercover ops is her specialty. Maybe this is an angle?
Maybe she hit her head and we just didn't see it.
Ah, yes. How lovely to make your acquaintance. Ruby, was it?
Yes, I'm Ruby. I want to make sure you remember my name. It's sometimes so difficult to make sure someone recalls their first meeting.
I found Ruby singing in a club downtown. She's quite the little pickpocket. Thought we could use her.
Well, isn't that interesting? So you're interested in a life of crime, are you, Ruby? Singing not paying the bills.
He's buying it, you guys. Maybe she was just rusty after all.
My money's still on head injury.
Not exactly. Singing's a fair gig and all, but there's just something so disgustingly decent about it. Not my style, so to say.
And what exactly is your style?
Well, it's fun to be bad. Earning your fair share is all well and good, but taking what you want is better.
Kid, I don't think you should listen to this part.
Well, why not?
It's not appropriate. Is it getting hot in here? It's not just me, it's warm, right?
Keep it down, lunkheads.
I've taken just about everything I own. This dress, this hat.
That flower on your lapel?
Oh no! The microphone's hidden in that flower. Don't let him get a good look at it.
This old thing? I lifted it off a dung florist named Mike.
Did she just tell him the flower is a mic? Something's fishy.
Is it misdirection? By drawing attention to it, maybe she's taking suspicion away.
Maybe. It's an awfully weird thing to say.
I don't like it.
Say, it's so hot out here tonight, and my head is getting so light from the heat that I feel like I'm practically hearing a choir of non-stop voices chatting in my ear. Do you mind if we step inside where it's cooler?
Oh, no, there's just too much talk on the line. Be quiet, everyone. Let her work.
I see we might get along, Ruby. Certainly. You may come inside.
Thank you.
She's in.
So, Crime Minister, I was hoping we could talk about Project Persephone.
Project Persephone? Jazzcat, why would you be interested in that particular project?
I heard only a little about it from Vonda. Figure if I'm going to be heading my own gang, some more details might be in order.
Is that so?
Yeah?
Unless, of course, my being here complicates things. I can understand how sharing sensitive information with outsiders might be a bad idea.
No, my new friend Ruby. I think this might be as good a time as any to get the ball rolling on Project Persephone and see what happens. Until now, I've only let my inner circle in on the details of the project, but I find myself in a giving vein. Let's take a look, shall we?
I have to admit, I didn't think it would work this quickly.
Oh, she's a real pro.
No, I've got a bad feeling about this. It's all moving too fast.
Quiet down and listen.
Gosh, there's certainly a lot of equipment in here, isn't there? Look at all these electrical cables.
Yes, well, this is the fabulous 1950s, Ruby. We don't just open up a trap door in the roof in a lightning storm anymore.
What do you mean?
I mean that science allows us to do some truly impressive things. Underneath this sheet lies the linchpin of Project Persephone. My criminal cohorts have designed a chrome steel exoskeleton, replete with laser-powered offensive weaponry and controlled by electronic signals sent from an actual living brain. A brain controlled by yours truly.
Goodness.
Goodness is not the word I would choose, because the brain in question is one I have specifically selected to have the maximum psychological impact on our target, Lilian Steele. Project Persephone, you see, is an elimination plot.
I've been meaning to ask you about that. Isn't the story of Persephone
one of rebirth and not death? Yes, I've been asked that before, Jazzcat, but I assure you, Project Persephone is aptly named.
So, why?
Persephone rose from the dead, Ruby. And so did the brain that controls my magnificent cyborg. You see, during the closing days of war, my command carried out an air raid on an Allied base. We believed the squadron at that base had stolen a valuable code book from us.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, we weren't quick enough on the draw, and even though we destroyed the base, most of the squadron escaped.
Oh, no.
What is it?
What's going on? What's he talking about?
But when we dug through the rubble, you see, we found that one member of the squad had been left behind for dead.
You don't say.
I do. For you see, she wasn't dead. In fact, it was this officer who provided us with the raw material, the very living brain that is now housed within my cyborg assassin. And when Lilian Steele, in her final moments, sees the face of her former commander bearing down on her, then my victory will be at hand. Ruby, say hello to the new and improved Sergeant Ingrid Iron.
Jumping Isaac Asimov's junior detectives! At last, the sinister machinations of the Crime Minister have been made clear. A cyborg with the face of Lilian's old commanding officer, Ingrid Iron. I tell you, junior detectives, that Crime Minister has turned out to be a real nugudnik. How would our heroes triumph over evil? There's only one place to find out. The next thrilling installment of Crime City. Strike while the iron is bought. Also known as Flowers for automaton.
Crime City, the podcast, is produced by Andrew Root and Adam Martinetti. Listen to previous episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, and Soundcloud. To help us find new listeners, rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks to the good people of ptpocanada.com for their media sponsorship. Special thanks to Ian Osborne, Jessica Latone, Brianna Ashby, and Sarah Ty. Information about future shows can be found at facebook.com/Crime City The Series and on Twitter @Crime City Series. We'll see you next month, Junior Detectives.